Today is August 3rd, 2024, Saturday morning, about 9:45 a.m. When you think of the date and time, you can't help but think of the past or the future of this time, right? Especially when you have a lot of challenges going on in life. You think that maybe August 3rd, 2025 will be better. That's our human life, right? We want to have hope that things will be better. Hope is something that helps us keep going. Sometimes hope can be a good thing. Sometimes hope can impair you, because hope is just a hope sometimes, and that can derail you from the practicality. They say anything is impossible if you believe in it. I picked this cup today. This is my happy place. I'm not sure if I was really feeling that this morning, but I kind of pushed myself to pick this cup because I wanted to remind myself of the things that I'm grateful for. While I was drinking tea this morning, I was reading a little bit of this book, The Book of Joy, Desmond Tutu and Dalai Lama. I read a couple of pages. In this book, they talk about how Dalai Lama and all of these big people, they had their own challenges. Like Dalai Lama was exiled from like Tibet, his own country, and even Thich Nhat Hanh, who is kind of known to be, not many people know about him. People who are Buddhist or follow Buddhism, they know about Thich Nhat Hanh, but he actually comes as a second to Dalai Lama when it comes to popular Buddhist monks. He was also exiled from Vietnam, and when the Vietnam War was going on, and he had this plum village in France, the Buddhist monastery, the largest in Europe, I think. Someday I really hope that I can go there. I love Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching, because I think I love Dalai Lama's also, but Thich Nhat Hanh's is more. I think it is so simple and clear. And I like the part where he talks about meditation, that everything can be meditation, like this moment when I'm sitting down and talking, and if I'm mindful of that, that can be meditation. Because in our life, sometimes we don't get an hour to put aside and just sit down and focus on breathing or meditation. But I like the part that you can do walking meditation, you can do cooking meditation, you can do anything as meditation when you're mindful. Lately things have been challenging, so I tend to cry, but today I'll try not to cry. At some point your tears dry up. I'll get there. I want to get there. Also, some people might find it weird that on a public channel, if I cry, that, we are after all a human being. I do the real raw emotions here because it's my way of saying that it's okay, it's normal. We all go through things in life, and when it comes to social media or whatnot, we tend to portray that everything is happy, and there is some good to it because you don't want to ponder on the sadness too much, because then who cares about sadness, right? There is enough sadness in people's lives, so when people come online, they probably want to see the happiness. As I transform myself, because that's my number one goal. My number one goal is also to get a job at this point. The job comes with that goal. Those affirmations I was listening to last night, and this morning I was listening to again a Wayne Dyer video where he talks about, don't talk about what is, talk about what you want, because when you talk about what is, that's what keeps happening. Even if it's bad, the bad keeps happening. So that's why I try to listen to that quite a bit, because our mind tends to go back there. We have to pull our mind out of there and focus on what we want, focus on the vision. I had created a very simple vision board type of thing. I had to, earlier in the year, I think I have to recreate it to, don't know, maybe I will. Maybe I won't, I don't know yet. I had a message for myself before starting the video, because I was thinking that as I make these videos, I want to kind of, I did the mantra, but I was also thinking to have a message for myself on a daily basis, so that kind of my mind focuses on that. Because when you are going through challenging times, it's important to remind ourselves to stay on that 200 miles journey when we need to go, even if we can see only 2 miles. We just, other than hope, there are other things that we can hold on to keep going, right? Maybe I don't really remember the message anymore, but maybe it'll come to me. But the learning and the growth is what we can focus on. So if I look at my life in the last decade and the decade prior, there's a lot of things I learned. So maybe that is one way to look at it. What all new things I'm going to learn in the coming 10 years and the 10 years after that. And that is something. I do want to travel different places. I want to go to France, I want to go to Italy. I want to go to many different states in this country. I used to, long time ago. And then I stopped traveling. I love to travel. I like simple things even on a weekend. When I go out, even if it's a farm or simple coffee shop. I don't know why I didn't do many of those in many years. It's one of those things that Thich Nhat Hanh says that whatever you water that grows. So, the good side and the bad side I talk about. The bad side has all our negative emotions. Majority is here and very few is the good. We have to consciously water that to grow. So to consciously do those things that makes you happy. If you don't, the bad things take over. In Thich Nhat Hanh's term, those are weeds. The weeds grow so much that sometimes life can become unbearable. And then you have to work so hard to clean the weeds. Because imagine if you have a garden with nice flowers and you haven't tended the garden for a few weeks, there will be little weeds and the weeds will be short. But then leave it for a few months, the weeds are gonna grow this big. Leave it for a few years, the weeds are gonna grow so big that the flowers will be either dead or you won't be able to see them because everywhere it will be weeds. And that is how our life is also. We have to nourish the good, we have to nourish the things that makes us happy. We have to be kind, gentle, appreciative of other people and ourselves. The challenging part sometimes could be that you may be able to forgive others quickly, you may be able to move on from the challenging emotions quickly, but sometimes it's hard to forgive ourselves with thinking that I wish I didn't say that, I wish I didn't do that, but then they say that those emotions are also not good because you have to kind of let go of those because those create guilt. And you have to tell yourself that you did what you did at that time by knowing what you knew then. And in life, we can change ourselves as we try to transform ourselves. We have to not judge, not blame, not criticize others, but see how we can do things differently next time around, right? Blaming doesn't help, criticizing doesn't help, the judgment doesn't help. Even if somebody is judging you, I was listening to this audio on YouTube this morning. I think it was from Louise Hay. Yeah, last night actually, before going to bed. And even if people judge you, blame you, or criticize you, and even if you have been kind to them and it was taken differently, forgive them anyway. Oh, Wayne Dyer also says that. Be kind anyway. It's not easy, but that is what can make us strong. To live a monk life, we don't have to go to a monastery. And believe it or not, That's what I'm trying to, in a way, get to. Living at home, also we can be monk when we are nice and kind to the point that not necessarily become a doormat, but don't react. Just let it go. Let it go. You can life doesn't always go according to our plan. If you think of it 10, 20, 30 years ago in your life, depending on how old you are, I'm in my 40s, so I can say that 10, 20, 30 years ago, how you have envisioned your life, maybe some of the things have turned out the way you wished, hoped. Some things are probably better than how you thought about, and some things are probably in some way not as good as you had thought about, right? So life doesn't always go according to our plan. We just have to go with the flow, go with the wind, and make the best out of life, because life is short and none of us know our expiry dates, right? All the things when we buy from a store comes with an expiry date, but we don't know our expiry dates. But we all do have an expiry date. So I wish we knew, right? So if we did, then we would, all of us would live our life differently. But I guess in some way to remind ourselves that it has an expiry date. So if I were to know, okay, I'm going to live another 40 years the way I would live, versus let's say if I have another 20 years, I probably would live differently. But our mind, the way it works, even though we know it, it's almost like when you watch a movie, you know that the actors are acting, they're not real, but then sometimes we may get emotional. We may think that, oh my God, this actor is dying at the end of the movie and it's so sad, and I get caught up in that emotion and we kind of cry and stuff like that. But we know that it's not real, and our life is like that we get caught up and we think everything is permanent. And Buddhism reminds us more than any other religion that life is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. We ourselves a minute ago or even a moment ago is not the same, because all the thoughts and emotions that we have going on in our mind, the decisions that we make, everything changes everything, right? So nothing is constant. I'm trying to make at least this morning videos as a constant in my life. When there are a lot of challenging stuff going on in your life, you need to, at least in my case, I know that having some constant helps, and I'm grateful that I have some really good friends. But if my family was here, if my mom was here, my little mom really, really loves me. I've seen her only once in the last 10 years. I went to India, I saw her. I probably talk to her every day. But with time difference and everything, I speak to her a lot less now. But I have the other constant, right? Like Buddhism, Thich Nhat Hanh would say that the green trees, the blue sky, the sun, the everyday sun comes up, even if it's cloudy, even if it's raining. Once in a while the sun hides behind a cloud, but it's there. Mother Earth. I'm so grateful for the clean water that we get to drink every day, right? Without thinking. And the clean air that we get to breathe. the fire that we can use to make food. Yeah, the roof over our head. Buddhism reminds us about a lot of this, and other religion too. Lately I'm trying to learn a little more about Christianity too, because I'm curious, and in some of the Thich Nhat Hanh books he actually compares some of the Buddhism things with Christianity, so that's what also kind of interested me to find out and learn. And also in this book where Dalai Lama, who is a Buddhist at the top of the Buddhism spiritual teacher, and Desmond Tutu, who is a spiritual teacher who died a couple of years ago, I think 2021, is Christian. So I'm like, if they can be friends, that means, different religion people can be friends and talk about things. There's one big difference is how life and death works, where I think in Christianity they believe that you have only one life, whereas in Buddhism and in Hinduism also actually there's a concept of reincarnation, so that's different. So Thich Nhat Hanh talks about having a compassionate curiosity, and that is something what we have to remember about, not only about religion but other people, right? People have different opinions about the same thing. So I talk about a glass half full versus half empty thing, because a lot of people look at glass half full who are more optimistic in life, and people might also say the same thing as glass half empty who are generally a little pessimistic. And some people would say that I'm grateful that there is a cup, because if there's a cup or glass, you can always fill it up, right? And there may be other ways to even think about that. I don't know. So the same thing can be interpreted in so many different ways, and a lot of it goes with our life's experience, right? What all we have been through in our life and how things have turned out, what we believe in. A lot of it depends on that, how we perceive things, and none of these are wrong, because if somebody says the glass is half full, that's right, and if somebody says glass is half empty, that is also right. None of these are wrong. So the approach normally we need to take is the person who is saying that the glass is half full, or that person to have a compassionate curiosity to understand why the other person is looking at it as glass half empty. But we as human beings, a lot of time, our life is so much at go, go, go and busy, rat race. We don't have the time to have that curiosity. And a lot of time we may have that curiosity, and then we may try to understand the other person's perspective, but then expectation builds up, right? And then you show that 10 times, and then you start expecting, oh, at least I hope that the other people also would have some expectation, some curiosity towards me, that why am I seeing it as half full, right? And then at some point you figure that that's not happening, and then you get tired. But then Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay and Thich Nhat Hanh and a lot of people in the self-help group, a lot of them, they're in that movie, Secret movie, and I think Netflix, I think it's on YouTube too now, the Rhonda Byrne's movie in 2006 that came, the Law of Attraction related secret movie. I actually want to watch it again sometime soon so that I can attract some good in my life. there's some definitely good going on. Like, I have food, I have roof over my head and things like that. I'm grateful. Um, they all would say that, be kind anyway, be nice anyway, even if people are not. In Buddhism and in Hinduism, there's a big thing about karma. And karma it's like almost like what goes around, what comes around. So meaning, if you do good, good will happen to you. If you do bad, bad will happen to you. And sometimes we don't see it in the happening in same life, because you would see people doing all the bad stuff and their life is so good. And sometimes we don't know the full story, because from up above it may look like, oh, they're having a good life, but there might be some stuff going on underneath that is not. And I think also in Christianity, there's a big thing about kindness, empathy. At least a lot of the friends I came across, I have seen them to be so kind, and they talk about their religion. So I don't know, people have mixed opinion about many religions, but people I have come across, I see the nicety and kindness. That makes me more curious to learn about that religion. Everybody has some goodness, kindness in them. When we look at it, when we focus on it, and that grows also. So I got to remind ourselves to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my usual to think about the progress and stuff. So yesterday, when I think of progress, sometimes things like our life doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes the days don't go according to plan. I was planning to go to the gym, that didn't happen, and then I was thinking to do some qigong in the afternoon. Didn't happen. Alice got tummy ache, so she was sent home from school at noon, so didn't happen. But we did some praying with the group in the evening, and that helped. Excuse me. Also gave her some medicine, and thankfully she was feeling better later at night. I was supposed to go to Toastmasters, couldn't do that. But with kids that happens, right? Like their plan kind of goes out the window sometimes. That's normal. And a few other things which kind of threw my mind a little bit away from the path I was supposed to be. And when I say supposed to be, having that awareness, like later in the day, I probably would have wanted to do my mantra, and guess what? I forgot completely. Because when our mind is in autopilot, those are the things that you don't remember, because mantra happens from awareness. For us to do the mantra, we need to first remember it, and then remembrance comes from that awareness when we are conscious. So I think yesterday I would say was probably somewhat one of those days that when I think of day after day progress, I don't know, maybe it didn't happen. Now, if I were to say, if I compare myself from a few months ago, I would say yes, there was progress, because a few months ago I would have managed it differently. So I am glad that on the path of transformation, the journey I am, I'm making progress over time. And that's what counts. At the end of the day, are we making progress and sometimes the line is never like this, right? It kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And eventually, if it goes up, that means we are making progress. And this morning I made progress, I know, in some situations. And when I talk about random things, I started doing that first now. Normally I used to talk about progress first, but anyway. And then I'm going to do some grounding with all my senses, and then do the mantra, and then probably will finish the video. So can't really smell anything, but I just took a few deep breaths and tried to calm my body down, including my shoulders. Trying to hear the sounds. I can hear myself talking in the TV that Alice is playing downstairs. I hear a little bit sound. I heard my belly made some sound. Colors. I see the picture over there of a galaxy that I have. The black, purple, blue, yellow, orange. I also see some red colors in the room. Green, orange. Taste the tea. Add some biscuits. We call them biscuits in India, tea and biscuit. I think even in UK they call them biscuit. Here they call them crackers. Here in the US, I mean. Temperature is okay, not hot, not cold. I feel the fabric of the bed sheet and the pillow. I put some pillows in here, and on top of that I put the little tripod I have. So yeah, feel the bracelet in my hand. I used to wear different kind of bracelet. These days I wear the green one, because I keep focusing on my heart chakra more, and so I kind of use that as a reminder, the green as a heart chakra. So these are all 5 senses, and now if I think of 6th sense, which is my mind. What am I thinking? I was in the present moment mostly when I was talking, which is a good thing. It's a big part of mindfulness. Right now, with a lot of things going on, I think of the past, think of the present. Sometimes we can't control it, right? Our mind keeps going in cycles, and I don't know, just looking at this cup, looking at this writing, this is my happy place. I'm trying to keep myself grounded here. I don't know, I keep thinking about next year at this time. And sometimes it's not a bad thing if it gives you hope. That's what you gotta think, right? You gotta think about the things that helps you to keep going. Yes, I'm going to do my mantra with the body part. So this is the part where I talk about the acceptance and surrender and trusting in God, like my crown chakra and the third eye. Trust in God and speak nice, kind, gentle, compassionate and kind words, positive and uplifting words to all beings. Heart chakra, this is the throat chakra actually. So the heart chakra, the focus is love, peace, harmony, joy, happiness. Solar plexus is about the yellow, which is the connection, friendship, and patience here in the belly area. A lot about patience. And normally I don't really go chakra by chakra as much, but today for some reason I want to. And the root chakra is like the courage, strength, because I do need that now. And then I've been praying to God a lot for that courage, strength, determination. I had a lot of that in the past, I think. Excuse me, throughout the process since last November, I lost some of that. So I need to get it back. Courage, strength, and determination. I remember in my first job back in 2003, I worked for Infosys in India for a couple of years before coming here. And on the first 1 or 2 days, I think there was some training, and then in that training there was some game type of thing, and there was one question, and there was people who were in groups, like 5-6 people group, and there was one question that think of a word that describes you that starts with your first letter of your last name. And my first letter of my last name is D. And I remember the word I used is determined. So when it comes to determination, and I still remember that was, this is what, 2004, so 21 years ago. Oh yeah, and it was in August. Now I remember. It was in August, and now it's August 2024. Sometimes some things go so deep in our mind, in our subconscious, that we remember, and that's the moment I still remember. Anyway, I know it's random, but I remember that. Okay, so these are to remind myself that I live in the present moment and I'm kind to all beings. My left leg is to remind to forgive everybody and everyone, including my past self, and look for positives in all situations and everything in my right leg. And the sides are about letting go about the past and future thoughts and emotions that no longer serves me. I just have to remind myself about all of this throughout the day. And I plan to do some mantra throughout the day. Some I may capture and some I may not capture in the videos, but I want to do that. Oh yeah, I'm going to do a quick few deep breath and visualization as I do intention setting and visualization. You can do that too. The visualization really does work a lot of time. Sometimes it doesn't because our mind goes in the subconscious autopilot, but a lot of time it works. Okay, have a wonderful day. And people who are still coming and watching my videos and encouraging me, I am so grateful. Really, really thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because none of you have to do that, but you come and support me in this journey, and it reminds me of the goodness of the humanity, people who even don't know each other, supporting and helping people. And one little act of kindness sometimes can change the world, because when one person shows the kindness, the other people, there's a paid forward that goes on. The other person shows kindness, and it just spreads in the world. The goodness spreads in the world. So thank you very much. Okay, have a good day and have a good weekend.